Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Mustafa. Today I'm going to show you the difference between while and for loops in Python. But before we get started, make sure to subscribe so that you get notified whenever I upload a new video. And also, if you would like to support this channel, head on over to patreon.com/commoncut. And you can select your membership and you will have access to many courses and also exclusive content. So let's get started. So I have here a file, an empty Python file called pythonmc, and here I'm going to create while and for loops. But before I create while and for loops, let me first explain why they are important. Well, loops are important in case you have a list. So if you have a list of items, 1, 2, 3, 4, any items you have, maybe strings, not just integers. It's important because you might want to get a specific element, or you just might want to display all of these elements, and there is no way to do that but by using for and while loops. So let's translate that into code. Let's create a useful example. Suppose that we have a list called food, and that list has maybe, let's say, apple, orange, and let's say banana, and you want to display these three elements to the user. So how can you do that? Well, to do that you need to loop over this list. There is no other way. You need to access each single element from this array or from this list and display it to the user. And there are two ways. You can either use while or for. And for is much easier. But let me first explain how you can use while. To use a while loop, you would have to create a counter. And that counter is going to start from 0, and it will keep increasing each time you access an element and you are done displaying it. You just need to increase your counter, and then you move forward and get another element. So first you need to use here the while keyword, and then counter, which is going to be initially 0, and then as long as this counter is smaller than or equal to the length of this array, the length of this list. So here, to get the length of that food, which is obviously 3, as long as this counter is smaller than or equal 3, then we want to access each single element, food, and then food counter. We want to access each element. For example, it's going to here in the first iteration, it's going to access the first one because the counter is going to be 0. So it's going to head on over to the food list and then access the first element, which is apple, and then it's going to display it using the print function. And then once we are done displaying it, we want to increase that counter. So we want here to say counter, and then equals to counter the old value, which is 0, and then plus 1. So we increase this counter from 0 to 1. So the new counter is going to be 1. And then the next iteration, the counter is going to be 1, and 1 is going to be smaller than 3. Then we will access the food, and then counter 1, which is orange. Then it's going to display here orange, and then it's going to increase the counter. So the counter is going to be 1 plus 1 here, 1 plus 1, of course, equals 2. So the counter is going to be 2, and then it's going to access banana and then display banana. Let me save and run my script and show you what's going to happen. So if you run your script, you are going to get an error because the range here is it's going to be equal to 3 in the last iteration, but we don't have an element. So we need to remove this equals. So let me save and run my script one more time, and you will get the three elements: apple, orange, and banana. So it worked. This is the first way, which is using the while loop. But as you have seen, while loop is a little complicated. It's not really complicated, but it takes some time to create this script. Therefore, you can use for loop. A for loop is much easier because a for loop is very straightforward. All you need to do is that you need to type for and then item in food and then colon, and all you need to do is that you just need to display each single item. So let me explain this before I execute this code. Let me explain what these two lines are gonna do. So here what we are telling Python, hey Python, for each item in the food array, for each item, get that item and display that item. That's it. So we are going to get each single item, apple, and then display this apple, and then get the second item, which is orange, display that item, and then get the third item, display that item, and we are done. So it's super simple. Let me comment this out and run my script. If you execute your script, guess what? You are going to get the same exact result as before. So you are going to get apple, orange, banana. Super simple. And both while and for loop will do the same exact job. So it's up to you to select while or for loops. So that's it for this tutorial. If you have any questions about while and for loops or any other question about previous tutorials, leave your question and questions in the comment section below. And also don't forget to subscribe to this channel to get notified whenever I upload a new video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.